Hey everyone, welcome to my channel by Riandini with me, Ajeng Riandini. So in this episode it's going to be a little bit different than other videos because first, I talk in English. Second, in case that you already realize it, I changed my channel name from Lost in Germany to by Riandini because I don't feel that comfortable using Lost in Germany. So, well, heck yeah, I just changed it to by Riandini. And then third one, I do apologize for being missing an accent for such a long time. I guess it's around, I don't know, 8 months. But there was a huge thing happening in my life and today I'm gonna talk about it with you. So in case that you follow me in social media, but I guess most of you don't, my father got stroke on the plane on his way to visit me here in Berlin around 4 months ago, and trust me, my life has changed ever since. And in this video I'm gonna talk to you about lesson that I've been learning in the past 4 months during these unfortunate events of my father got stroke here in Germany. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. You might think you have a perfect plan or at least nice plan, but you know what? Shit happens. We've been planning for this Europe trip for my parents, I guess, I don't know, for about 1.5 years, and it took me a solid 9 months to save money because I was the one who financed my parents because my parents don't work anymore. My father was already retired, so I need to save money to buy the ticket, to take care of the visa, to become their sponsor whatsoever. And you know, it's not easy for them to come to Germany and it's not easy for me to bring them here. So I literally make sure I had a very good plan for them. I bought their ticket here and then I bought the ticket for them to Amsterdam, Netherlands, because my parents or my father really wanted to go to the Netherlands. And then I bought the ticket also to Dresden because, you know, my father, my mother and my boyfriend's parents wanted to meet up. You know, I bought everything, I booked everything, but in the end, you know what? Shit happens. My father got stroke on the plane, and for me this is such a very crazy or perfect example that when happiness turned into disaster within a second. I was really excited, to be honest, waiting on the arrival gate. You know, I mean, it's an amazing thing, you know, because my father and my mother are in their 60s and it's their first time here in Europe. And then what I got is my father already on the wheelchair, my mother was crying, he was kinda, I don't know, unconscious, collapsed and whatsoever. I don't know. Shit happens, man. We definitely thought that we had a nice plan. My father even learned English just for this trip, both a dictionary just for this trip, and then in the end, he spent 6 weeks in the hospital and almost 2 months here in Germany. Cannot remember any shit about what's going on for like those 2 months. Shit happens. Number 2, telling your mother that her husband is going to die is hard as fuck. First of all, excuse my language, but if you are me, you definitely can understand why I speak quite bad. So in 7th of May 2017, I went to the hospital with my boyfriend and my mother, and then my father at that time already in a normal ward, and then when we were there, all of a sudden we cannot find him there. So that's why we went to the nurse, and then we were like kind of shocked, you know, because where is he? And then the nurse told me that like, oh, you know what? Your father is no longer in normal ward. Last night we brought him to the stroke unit, or I mean ICU, because we were just like very insecure. He was super weak, but you don't have to worry about anything. And you know, I was like pretty much, wait, you brought my father to the stroke unit, but you didn't tell me. But the nurse was, I don't know, insisting that like nothing serious, you know, there's nothing that I need to worry about. Nothing's dangerous, it's just that they were super insecure about my father's condition, so ICU is a better option. So we went to the stroke unit and all of a sudden I found a doctor and a lot of nurses, and then the doctor suddenly told me that, hey, you know what, your father got a huge stomach bleeding in his stomach and we need to stop the bleeding as soon as possible, otherwise you need to say goodbye to your father. Whoa, hold up! The nurse just told me that there's nothing that I need to worry about, and you told me that my father is going to die. It was literally surreal moment for me. And to be honest, until now, I cannot even remember that much, or I don't know, it just feel like a movie for me. It was pretty much okay moment, and suddenly you have to accept the fact that your father is going to die. It's just crazy. And then not stopping there, I thought that nothing worse can come again, and I forgot like shit my mother. Because my mother cannot speak English nor German, so I was the one who needs to deliver this news for her. And trust me, it's not easy. It's super, super difficult. I remember I was just standing in front of my father's bed for like a good 5 minutes and just like scratching my head because I literally know what I had to say. I mean, I just cannot say that, hey, you know what? Father is going to die. Don't worry about it. Of course not. I cannot say that. So I didn't even know what to say. I was just like very confused, and thank God my boyfriend was there, and the nurse there was also really nice to me, and she even said that to me, you don't have to tell everything to your mother, just tell her that you will have an endoscopy as soon as possible, and then we will see from there. But you know what? It's not fair for her. She deserves the truth, and I told her everything from A to Z, and to be honest, I cannot remember what I have told her, but I remembered after that she collapsed. She was crying like shit. I was crying, and there were only 3 of us. There were only my mother, my boyfriend, and I. And at that moment, I also thought that if this happening in Indonesia, we're not gonna be that lonely, because my brother will be there, my sister-in-law, my nephew, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, my neighbors. There will be lots of people there, and in that case, only 3 of us. And then afterwards, I need to sign some paper, and then the doctor and the nurse told me that I need to wait outside of the stroke unit. And trust me, if you ever heard about walls of the hospital have heard more prayers than the walls of churches, that's literally what I had. I prayed so hard, and I was literally asking that please, 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 God, like save my father, like please. My mother cannot even stop crying. I was just like, I don't know. I tried to comfort her, but I was super worried as well. And we were just waiting there for like 1 hour, but trust me, it felt like 8, 9, 7, 12, 24 hours. It was like the longest hour I've ever had in my whole life. And then every time the door opens, my heart stopped a beat, because I was afraid that, oh my God, was it going to be the doctor? Is it the doctor? Is it the nurse? Or what kind of news I will get? Is it the bad news or the good news, you know? After a while, finally, the nurse came to me, and I saw a smile on her face, and I was like, thank God. Like, I knew something good happened, because like, you cannot smile and deliver bad news, right? You must have a, you know, at least you need to smile if there is something good. So yeah, my father fortunately passed the critical condition. The bleeding already stopped, but he lost so much blood, I guess around, I don't know, 2 liters. So he needs a blood transfusion. But yeah, he was super, super weak. And you might think that it stops there, but actually no. After this thing, this huge critical condition, crazy thing whatsoever, we also found out that my father got another stroke. So yeah, 2 strokes in 10 days. Number 3, staying strong is not an option. It's just something that you do. People kept asking me like, oh my God, AJ, how did you do that? How could you be like really strong to face all of these unfortunate events in your life? And I was like, you know, I have no choice. I literally have no choice. If I have a choice, I will definitely choose it, you know, but in this case, no. I just need to be strong as fuck, face everything, and try to not kill myself. It sounds kind of hilarious, but in that case, a thought to kill yourself, because the pain that you endure is super crazy, and sometimes you feel like, oh my God, what will happen if I die? Maybe I don't have to face everything, you know. But when I think about it, like, yeah, if you die, AJ, if you die, Ajeng, what will happen to your father and your mother? It's just like, I don't know, you just kill 3 people at the same time, me, your mother, and your father. During those 2-3 months, I have no choice. I just stay strong and just face everything, and then being as tough, as strong as possible, because you literally had no choice. Number 4, having hope is a torture, but losing hope is the worst. During my father was in the hospital for like 6 weeks, and after that he needed to stay at my place for like another 4 weeks. There were so many times that you just wanted to give up. You just felt like, why it happened to me? Why it just getting worse and worse and worse? I did good stuff. I just wanted to make my parents happy, but why I got this? Why my father, instead of getting any better, in the end is just getting worse? Why every single hope that I have is just destroyed? And those questions pop up in my brain, in my head, every single time. And it's just a constant worrying again and again and again and again. And then the thing is that I know, even though that I told my boyfriend, and I just told everything to my boyfriend, or sometimes to your friend, that somehow you just gave up everything, you know, you just gave up of having hope, but because nothing of them works. But if you think about it, if you lose hope, you just give up on your life, and this is something that really bad, you know. So I was really lucky to have my boyfriend next to me, and then he's the one who kept talking to me and constantly remind me that do not lose hope, do not lose hope, you know, just please try to be optimistic as possible, because I know, because it's not easy for us. In the 6 weeks of my father, he got 2 strokes, 3 stomach bleeding, multiple blood transfusion, I don't know, twice stroke in the lungs, everything. And you're just thinking that why it's happening to me? But you know what? Never lose hope. Never ever lose hope. I know it's hard, but I think this is one of the reasons why I can face everything, because I still have hope in my heart that this will end. This will have a good thing in the end. My father will show some improvements, and that's my hope. And you know what? It happens. So it's just about like mental game, but just do not lose hope, because if you don't have one, it could be dangerous, because you just give up your life. Number 5, we are too busy growing up. We often forget that our parents also growing old, aka you don't know what you got till it's gone. It's the bell of the church next to my house. Let's wait. Until now, to be honest, I kept thinking that maybe I didn't try hard enough to be there for my parents. In Indonesian, we have this saying stuff like, regret always comes behind. I don't know whether it exists in English or not, but I mean, logically it makes sense, because you do something and then if you like it, it's good. If you don't like it, then there must be regret afterwards. So that's pretty much it. And right now, there is a regret in myself, because I wish that I could visit them more often, because now I live in Germany and I just can visit them once a year, and again, it's not cheap to visit them to Indonesia. Maybe if I save harder, or I work harder than ever, I can make myself coming back to Indonesia twice a year. Because before this thing happening, like 6 months ago, my father was healthy. I still can talk to him a lot. I still can, you know, discuss with him about something, but now he's just not the guy I used to know. I mean, of course, I'm super, super grateful that my father is alive. Like, you have no idea. Like, I'm beyond happy about that. But still, he's not the guy that I used to know for the past 26 years. For instance, that never in a million years I see my father shed any tears. But after the strokes, he cried a lot. He cried like a baby. And I mean, it's super normal in a stroke patient that you can see different personality, but it's not easy to see it in someone you knew very well, you know, for such a long time. My father was a strong man. He was crazily stark. He never complains. He never cry. And now he looks weak, I have to say. And then he's just, like I said, he's not someone that I used to know. He's not my father that exists in my head. He is my father, but it's not my father. You know what I mean? That the personalities change, the way he talks, and then it's just different. And also I feel like kind of sad for my mother, because now she needs to be there for him 24/7, and she's becoming his personal nurse. She needs to take care of everything, you know, feed him, clean him, try to make sure his blood regulation is good enough. And it's kind of sad that I wasn't there, you know, but I can, because I need to work here, I need to finance my family. But it's just a difficult situation. And right now sometimes I wish that I tried harder a year ago or 2 years ago to make myself visit them more often or talk to them. I mean, it's not like I rarely talk to them. No, I talk to them constantly. I FaceTime with them, Skype or anything, you know, but I wish that I did more. It's just something that I need to deal for the next 1-2 years. And again, like I said in point 4, I don't lose hope. I still have a wish that my father can be able to back normal again, which is somehow, as a people with anxiety, those kind of thoughts kind of got stomped by another thought saying that, like, you know what, it's not gonna happen. But still, I just need to be strong and never lose hope. And for all of you who still got parents, after this video, please pick up your phone, call them if you can, and tell them that you miss them, you love them. Or if you cannot say it like me, just talk to them, you know, just tell your day or ask them how's their day, something like that, and just try to make sure that you are with them every day, you know. Or if you can visit them more often, it's even better, you know, because trust me, after this series of unfortunate events, I literally can understand the phrase, you have no idea what you've got till it's gone. Thank you so much for watching my video. Ajeng Rianini is signing out. Ciao ciao.